going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Big Papa. We'll be bringing some video and stuff. We're going to start kind of reacting to these as much as we can. Most people show their face and whatnot. I'm not going to show my face for sound quality purposes. To get the best sound quality, I'll show my face. But, So, let's go on and see what's this is about. 26 minutes, guys. 26 minutes. Oh my goodness. Alright.
Welcome back to Video and Stuff. I'm the producer of Dragon Ball Legends, Toshi, and we have two new members today.
Mouth is a match.
Hi everybody, I am Jennifer, Community Manager on Dragon Ball Legends.
And hello, I'm Janneke, the other Community Manager. It is great to meet our Dragon Ball Legends players.
So this is our first time as Dragon Ball Legends presenting our Community Manager to all our players.
Yeah, so basically as Community Managers, we listen very closely to the voice of the community, which we then forward to you, Toshi.
That's right. As a matter of fact, Janneke and I have been working together on Dragon Ball Legends for some time now, and one of our goals is to create more content for the community. Probably you have seen a few of our new social media posts on Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah, so we're already working on other guides for content, like a video tutorial series that's in the work right now, so hopefully...
He was about to talk there, and he's like, oh, she's still talking. Alright, well, wait, he keeps wanting to talk, but they're not going to let him.
That will help new beginning players.
Rest assured that we will make everything to make sure that the development team and the community come closer together.
That's something I'm personally looking forward to as well, because at the end of the day, we have the team working on the game, but we're not truly professionals at really making ourselves too public outside. So these two will definitely, hopefully, make the entire environment a lot better for all the players.
Hopefully.
Yes, we hope so too. But yeah, let's move on to the in-game information, because at last we implemented a new game mode, Tournament of Power.
So that's something big that we have been working on for quite a long time, actually, and I'm hoping that many players are having fun. Or, if they're not, we would definitely like to hear the voices of that so that we can work on it. As many of you may be already aware, it's in the pre-season. Basically means what we're doing right now, what you're participating in, isn't something that's going to be rock solid for the future. We're probably going to be tweaking lots of things, not just in terms of like gaming and balancing, but in terms of the ranking or how frequently you play it and so on. So as of now, I wouldn't say testing the waters, because we're comfortable. We'd like to think we're comfortable with what we have, but the more we hear from you guys, the easier it is for us to move on and make it better or to tweak it.
I don't know if he's reading something or what he's doing, but he's not looking at the camera. And I don't know, it's kind of weird. And obviously, because they can't be in the studio together for COVID purposes and traveling and what have you. But it's still kind of, I find it weird. It's just me though.
Yeah, so definitely let us know on social media, Twitter or Facebook, what you think of the Tournament of Power, and we will let Toshi know.
That's right. But, you did not only implement Tournament of Power, you also implemented Ultra.
Yes, the Ultra Rarity. I'm pretty sure the first time when players heard it, they probably thought, oh god, they're going to have to gather lots of Chrono Crystals first. But no, we're definitely going to be providing these Ultras in similar manners as the first Super Saiyan Goku did, for now. And then maybe in the far future, they might start appearing as different characters in summons. But as of now, we're planning on providing for more content similar to what we did with Goku, where you have to play different modes, where you have to participate in different content, and gather Z-Power for that Goku in different methods. Of course, it doesn't mean you have to play PvP or that you have to play co-op. We're, at the end of the day, gonna leave that decision up to the players, because we want for them to make that choice. But we're also going to say, if you play it all, you're gonna get a lot more than not playing it all.
Yeah, we definitely want people to remind them to definitely do this so you can collect all the Z-Power.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going to be excited. Also, I have to say that I really like the art direction that you guys took on this, and congratulations to the team, because you did an amazing job. So I am pretty sure everybody's going to be happy about it.
The art team really took their time and care to make sure that this is something distinguishable from other pieces of Dragon Ball, that this is unique to Dragon Ball Legends. As you can tell, the dark ink, the slightly Japanese-esque feeling to it is kind of very unique to Legends as a whole. And also it makes sure that you can tell as a whole that the rarity that is Ultra is something clearly distinguishable from other characters.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, we'll definitely not forget to play it. But we're gonna move on to a next segment, our first time for Ask Stuff, which will be was held during the battle hour for the first time, and we're gonna have to have some questions for you, Toshi. So I hope you're ready.
Yeah, we still had like what 1,690 something questions left in our hands from that point on.
Oh man.
Yeah. And I also heard that 200 of those questions were about you.
Yeah,
Asking questions about you. So how do you feel about that?
Well, some of them were very much personal, so no, I'm not going to answer all of them. But yeah, we'll try to answer as much as possible in terms of gameplay, in terms of Dragon Ball Legends. I don't know about the personal ones.
Yeah.
Maybe take me out to dinner somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah.
We can
Okay,
get
so
ourselves
let's
there.
start with those questions.
Yeah, so I have question one. When looking at specific characters,
Oh,
it
excuse me.
says they activate the following effects on themselves at the start of battles. How long will the effective abilities last when activation time is not specified?
So, at this point, we have many characters with different abilities, and I understand some feedback saying it looks like I'm reading a dictionary for certain characters. At the same time, many people can tell that certain characters are very strong because of the wall of text that they see it. But it's another difficult part for us to move on with because the more new abilities that we add, the easily it can be confusing with more systems added on top of each other, and it doesn't really leave much for vagueness, especially because this game that is Dragon Ball Legends basically is kind of similar to a real-time card game of sorts, where everybody's playing in the same rule. In the question that you mentioned earlier with the abilities with the buffs that activate, usually there are a few major laws that we follow where if it specifies the counter time, the moment the character steps in, the moment the character uses that attack, that's when the counter time starts. So for those of you who may want to keep close count of how long that buff is lasting, they should maybe pay attention to the top left corner of the screen and kind of subtract the time from that point on, which I understand is a difficult feat, especially in PvP. So in the future, maybe we'd like to make these count times, or these kind of time left that you have on certain buffs, a lot more visibly distinguishable. And we understand that that's an issue. But another rule is if it doesn't specify a time, it usually won't go away. It's something of a semi-permanent effect. And the reason I say semi is because there are certain characters that will cancel your buffs. There are certain characters that can use their main abilities or their special card and get rid of your buffs, and that's when it goes away, obviously. But aside from that, it usually stays with your character, and then there are also the buffs that says not cancelable, which are cancelable. As we like to think it's
Simple as
very
that.
clear. Yeah, it's very. We'd like to think it's clear and simple, meaning they're literally permanent, and as long as you have that character out, they will be buffing that character in the sense that it should be explained in the ability.
Okay.
All right. Awesome
you.
answer. Second question now. So, does the management team sometimes disagree on things like abilities or elements?
I wouldn't say sometimes. It usually starts out with a disagreement because there are many things that we have to look at in terms of how character functions, not just in the sense of the current meta, the environment of what players are using, but also there are certain characters where players, well, not just players, but us as fans of Dragon Ball as well, would like to see certain characters play out differently. So we want certain characters to be as strong as possible, obviously. And then there's people like me that says, no, please don't. And there's lots of arguments that goes on, and usually it takes about a few weeks prior to it being released in terms of tweaking and balancing. And there's much discussion, but we'd like to think it's a healthy discussion. And also, the disagreement that we have isn't something of an unhealthy one where we just simply want to make certain characters stronger than something else, or we want to push out certain tags more than others. We want to make sure that the environment as a whole is, I wouldn't say entirely fair, because at the end of the day, if everything is viable, nothing is viable. So we want to make sure that there's different choices, there's different ways of making a complex rock, paper, scissors system where certain characters are definitely stronger than others, but those characters are weaker against other characters, and that cycle goes on.
Yeah, the meta has to change at some point. So yeah, for the third question, which character did you have the hardest time creating? I've been curious for this.
So, the biggest character that comes to mind is Ultra Instinct Sign Goku. This has been mentioned a few times. I hope you guys...
Such a cool. It's on my main team all the time.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to get it. I'm suffering a little bit, but it's alright.
Well, as a Legends Limited character, we wanted to make sure that it had very strong assets in terms of just fighting on its own, and we wanted to make sure that with his unique ability, the unique gauge that he has, he stood out. But at the same time, I mean, I'm pretty sure many people, when they first read it, it says it dodges just strike attacks, blast attacks, tap attacks. It's like, okay, so this guy's basically invincible, right? But if that was the case, as I kind of said earlier, then it would just be a boring game of everybody has to use Goku. So we wanted to make sure that he had his weaknesses. So in that sense, the balancing was very difficult, because if the weakness was too great, then it's unfun, you know? It's just not, it won't be fun. So we wanted to make sure that he had his strong damage, high output, but made sure that if you did screw up, if you did get hit, you are going to be in for a ride, and you're going to have to be careful with using him. So he is a character that, in terms of balancing, was difficult to tweak, and also in terms of just graphical technology, this is something that we...
Very informative, and it's nice to know what they, how they think.
Answered in the previous Ask stuff too, but we took so much longer than the average character in terms of just making this character look great and making sure that everybody's smartphone could handle it.
Well,
So how much time actually? Can you say that?
Honestly, the discussion itself started like more than half a year before its release.
Oh,
So
man.
Wow,
I don't even know when I should define how long it took.
well, it was definitely worth it because
Yeah.
I love playing with it.
Well, I will let you know once I finally get it. But yeah, hopefully soon. So yeah, the next question is a little bit tricky. So there's a girl I like in the class next door. I always attack her with my strike arcs, but she keeps avoiding me with vanishing steps. How can I make sure my rising rush will reach her?
That's deep. That is deep, but romantic in a way.
Did you write this, or was this really in the question?
Are we in school? I don't know. Maybe.
I swear to God, I did see some silly questions in the list of the 1700 questions. Some of them were really like just simple, saying, "Can we have more Chrono Crystals?" But like that one just, you know what?
At least it's original.
Yeah, it's very original. You know, I suggest you bringing maybe Majin Buu and making sure that she can't switch characters. Maybe I have no idea how to answer this, but. There are certain characters that stops you from using switch covers, so if you don't want them to dodge, those characters are what I suggest.
Well, I hope he doesn't.
Yeah. Please let us know. Please let us know what happened.
Then I have another question. Will Candy Vegito ever be made?
The strongest candy in the world? Yeah, personally, I would love to see it, yes. I mean, probably in Dragon Ball Legends it would literally be just a dot flying in the air, but no, we have no plans for it yet. Maybe in the future.
Who knows, right? Well, and the last question is actually about the legendary finishes. So for moves that weren't in the original manga or anime, like Super Saiyan Vegito or Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Vegito, how do you decide how to bring them to Legends?
So when we first created the legendary finishers, we wanted to make sure that the iconic scenes that everybody loved and wanted to reenact were basically brought to an entirely different tier of their own. But at the same time, little by little, we had not just fans, but on our end as well, wanting to see characters that were just generally hyped in general, very popular characters in general. And those characters usually are popular for, like, just their existence, basically, not just a single move. So we had to figure out ways of providing, picking up certain aspects of the character that would just, not just in terms of anime or other Dragon Ball forms of art, just not just being accurate, but making sure that they were cool without, I wouldn't say disappointing the fans, but without letting them. Okay, let me rephrase that. We wanted to provide the characters without always letting the players know what to expect. So, Vegito is a good example. Everybody knew they wanted Vegito to be a high-tier character, a very strong character. We wanted to provide the character in the best possible scenario. But like earlier you said, like Vegito has multiple forms, and his fight was kind of long against Majin Buu. And that entire series, that entire arc is what made him popular, so we couldn't even pick up on something. So we wanted to bring an entirely original idea to him. So we chose the character first, and then we tried to elevate him to that tier of legendary finish.
Thank you so much for answering all the questions.
Makes sense.
That is it for now, but maybe next time we'll answer some more, and I hope you will answer them, even if they're silly.
In fact, I'd like to see more of our players ask us silly questions too on the SNS. So we're not going to just simply look at the previous 1,700 questions that were asked. We're definitely going to keep picking them up as the game goes on.
Yeah, well, definitely ask them.
Yeah. We are there. We are reading your questions, your comments, everything. So please just share whatever you want.
And we still want to know how it turns out for the guy in the classroom and the girl.
Yeah, okay. That's weird, but yeah.
Let's move on to the next segment, Legends Update Info.
So this one is going to be something of more of a ambiguous or things that we'd like to do in the future, not something that it's going to be necessarily updated next month or before the anniversary and such. So we want everybody to know that this is something that we're focusing on.
Still got 10 minutes, guys.
For an example, we're definitely trying to cut down on unnecessary loading time.
That's good to hear, actually.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Another thing is basically recommending equipment screen of some sort. Basically, Dragon Ball Legends, besides the characters, players have an assortment of equipment that they can work on, that they can keep grinding for to make their team their own style of basically just directions that they can take. And the equipment makes that a lot more, I wouldn't say extreme, but it helps the players out to make sure that they can take those characters and play as they want. And we understand that there's lots of choices. There's, in fact, some of them are named similarly to each other. That's something that we understand is an issue. Like, there's just different characters laughing or shouting, and some of them is really difficult to distinguish. So in the future, we're going to make sure that those are a lot more easily distinguishable between each equipment, and also players would be able to find out what kind of equipments are being used by top-tier
that's
players.
amazing.
Oh,
Yeah, like I
that'd be
see
crazy.
a lot of players who, for example, don't use any equipment in the co-op or PvP, and you know, that's also one of the reasons we decided to create the new tutorial series, because we also want to explain maybe if they don't know how to do that. But yeah, equipment is extremely important.
Yeah, it can definitely get confusing, because indeed what you said, Tosha, there's so many different ones of the same characters, and I'm just like, okay, but I have, Android 18, do I have to use all these matching equipments, or do I go for others? It is definitely a lot.
Mm-hmm. So most players that are very hardcore usually have their own direction that they want to take the party into. But for those of you who still don't know what to do, or who have the characters but don't know which one to equip, we're hoping that this suggestion system, of sort of the recommendation system in the future, will help them out and basically make their...
I made a few videos on how to make a team. they literally have a recommendation system for that team. But if you have certain people you want to use, then use them, and then go into equipment and just do the recommended equipment, and it'll give them the best ones you have that they think work best for the team that you made. Now, sometimes you might go in there and check them because there might be a little wonky equipments, but other than that, it usually works out fine for me. So.
Party one step or maybe more even beyond stronger than what they have right now.
Yeah, cannot wait for that.
Yeah, will be awesome.
Another thing is making the multi-Z power easier to use. So
there we go.
I'm pretty sure many people have their opinions on the multi-Z power, like why can I only carry 3, or why do I have to keep going back and forth to use it?
Yeah, or why do they have only 4-star or higher can use this 10 multi-Z power. 10 doesn't get you nowhere, you stooge. Like, come on. Here's 10 for my 4-star Jiren. Oh, well, now he's at, what's 4-star? It'd be, I don't know how many. We'll say 1400. So, okay, now he's at 1410. Okay, now what are you gonna do? I'll only, another year and I'll be able to give him to 5 stars unless I pull him.
As for the numbers, we don't want people to stock up and then use it on a new character and just spam it into one character. We want to make sure that this is a reward that everybody can constantly get, but at the same time we'll have to use immediately so that we don't have to worry about having people stockpile it.
I don't care about stockpiling.
Right now, the system is kind of made to force you to go back and forth between different menus, and that's something that we didn't really want for the players to experience either. It was kind of a system requirement of sorts that we kind of had to do, and this is something that we're definitely going to fix in the future. So we hope that players look forward to that, especially for those of you who are always grinding for the high-tier difficulties and constantly using the multi-Z powers. I understand your sentiments in that it's a bother, it's a hassle. I think so as well, especially the ones in the guild shop. Those are so annoying to use. I am in the same boat as you, and we're definitely going to make those a lot easier to use.
Yeah, I'm glad to not have to go to my inbox as much as all the time then.
And another function that we'd like to work on is making sure that certain characters having bonus ability buffs in certain content are a lot more easily distinguishable. Right now, certain events, like you take in certain characters, allow you to get more drops, more rewards for that content. Those are written in the in-game info, but not many people obviously read it, and I don't want to have to force you to read it as well. So we want to make sure that those are easier to decide on.
All right, just read stuff, guys. It's not that hard to go into. I know it's annoying, but it's not that hard. It keeps your mind going. Learn to read stuff. Read it good. We don't need to make a game so dumb that you just feel dumb playing it. Like, oh, it's just so easy to play. It's just so easy. No, you don't want it too easy. Come on. Like Mario, first game ever come out. That's one of the hardest games out here. Nothing but pain. All right.
When basically challenging the content itself, when going to that event and just looking at your party, and maybe the game will tell you the character that you have in your party right now will give you more bonus buffs or give you more drops. So those are something that we want to make sure are a lot more visibly distinguishable. Well, this is something of the buff itself we wanted to provide in the early days, and we prioritized implementing the buff itself over the UI, so that's why it ended up being as it is right now. So it was, at the end of the day, we don't intend for the players to have to slog through different screens and suffer before playing.
Yeah,
we want them to keep playing. We want them to just simply play as they like. And we hope everybody understands that the stress that people feel, those are something that we feel as well and would like to see go away.
Well, hopefully all of these improvements will eventually come to the game. We probably are going to, update all the players about this, so yeah.
Keep an eye out on social media.
All right, and I think there's one more update that we're trying to work on is covering your energy. everybody requires energy to keep playing their content. Right now, there is the option of recovering your energy using chrono crystals or through your tank. But
Thanks.
you have to use one energy to spend your chrono crystals, and it's a bit of a hassle. So those kind of minor tweaks, limitations will go away in the future. And also, another thing that we'll probably try to make sure to implement is allowing for players to get rid of adventures that they don't need, because those fill up very quickly.
Very quickly, especially if like PvP, it's always full, basically, trying to find the right ones.
As of this recording, it's not implemented, but for all we know, some of these systems could be already implemented when the video goes live.
Well, if you do and you'd like to change this, definitely let us know.
Yeah, we will also be looking forward to that.
Yeah. Hey, there we go. Yeah, buddy.
Good evening. Welcome to Legends News. A new character is coming to Legends. Normally, we showcase new characters that appear in the Legends All-Stars, but today we have something more special. This time, we have an all-new Legends Limited character.
Oh,
Let's
man.
start by checking out this video.
Man.
Here we go. You're mine.
Oh, what? Oh, that's so cool. Guys. Oh, man.
What a fight.
That's what everyone's been looking for.
Legends Limited Super Saiyan 4 Goku is coming. On top of having a rescue type cover change ability, this Goku is an incredible attacker whose damage dealt increases from the start of the battle and every time he's faced with an enemy, making him a very versatile character. He also gets various buffs whenever his allies are defeated. Get him angry enough and his ultimate is basically a one-shot kill. That's
What?
it for Legends News.
Basically, what does that mean? Basically, one-shot
So
kill.
many players must be super excited for this edition of Super Saiyan 4 Goku because we've seen so many requests for GT characters.
That's right. Like, I can tell you that I am extremely excited as well. Like, I cannot wait for these characters to finally be available. So, yeah, looking forward to it. Like everybody else.
So I'm not going to say anything definitive, but I will say we are totally focusing on GT one way or another, with the addition of this new Super Saiyan 4 Goku.
man.
So I hope everybody looks forward to that character.
All right, 2 more
And
minutes.
they will be extremely happy about that.
All right. So in terms of new Dragon Ball Legends news, that's it for today.
What?
But this is U2's first appearance in video and stuff. How was it?
Well, I loved it. I had a lot of fun, especially talking to you, Toshi, and Yaneka, and creating this piece of content for the community. So yeah, let's see what happened.
Yeah, so I also had a lot of fun. It was really fun being here on videos and stuff. And if you have feedback for us, let us know on social media, Twitter and Facebook. Also, what you would like to see on social media. And maybe we can mean something for you. So thank you so much also, Toshi, for having us. And
Really looking forward to how this community engagement grows to be in the future. So I hope everybody voices their feedback so that we can pick up on it and make Dragon Ball Legends and these video and stuff too better than ever.
Yeah.
You always wait till the end, guys. You always
Thank
wait
you
till the
so
end.
much.
Okay,
Stop it.
so thank you guys, everybody, for watching this, and I will see you guys next time.
Bye.
There's still a minute left, isn't there? Or oh, only 14 seconds. Anything? And nope, nothing. Nothing, guys. Nothing. That's all we get. Waiting that long. Oh well, you guys saw it here though. Got that. I don't know if I can turn it off. There we go. All right. But yeah, pretty exciting stuff. I'm going to see how this video goes. Doesn't go too well. I'm not going to upload it, so I might have to make a new one. Anyways, until next time, Big Wallaby out.